also is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space.
What does it take to convince you that the dead do not always rest in peace?
I'm sorry, Craig.
Podcast. What are you apologizing for?
I forgot to put Reagan, unfortunately, getting shot back in the intro. Very sorry.
Would that be a whole different thing? You'd have to include Kennedy.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Different presidents.
I knew why it was short for some reason.
Just a couple of decades separated.
My bad. I'm lost. It was weird. Let's start the show off good. My bad.
And this moment of chaos has been brought to you by Brat's Beard Care. And the premium quality beard care products that is made specially by Kelly, including our new signature 3B beard oil, which is meticulously handcrafted by the bearded gnomes that Kelly keeps locked away in his house. And it's actually, with every bottle of beard oil you buy, we can set one of these gnomes free. So care for the gnomes, set them free, buy some beard oil. Anyway, Keith Cassiano, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. How are you guys doing today?
I know. Well, you couldn't ask for a better intro, could you?
No, really good. Hey, remember a couple months ago when I didn't have a beard and now I got like this thing going? It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's migrating from up here, but
what's that joke when it's like long and then you just pull and you just pull it down and it just pulls off the head, right down to the beard. But you look amazing,
Thank you. I'm worried about that one day I'm Santa Claus and some kid goes to grab my face and it's like, ugh. But we'll see how it goes until then. Just one day at a time. That's all I can say.
As an official, sponsor, Kelly Broad is also happy to see that you've decided to come back to the fold.
Yes.
Thank you. I do need to jump on that train and grab some because this is a little bit dry. Head and Shoulders just doesn't do it for this. I need to make sure this thing's up.
Now, did we send you the sample one?
No, I probably didn't ever tell you what sample I wanted.
Well, we don't give you a choice. Kelly gives that to you. You just gotta say thank you. Yeah. So
all the samples for that.
Yeah. So we'll get your address and everything, and I'll have Kelly send you up one.
Too kind.
Yeah. So that way you can figure. Caroline can figure out which one she prefers, and you can take that and use it.
I'll make sure I'll use it when we go on our elopement.
Ooh, there we go.
Ooh, silky smooth.
Well, everybody, this is welcome back to the regular topics thing. We're getting back to this, and we are talking about SpaceX tonight. Austin brought this up because he is gone down the rabbit hole, and he thinks Elon Musk is up to no good, that he's the evil scientist.
Half and half.
Yeah, and so
I like you said, he is the modern day Tony Stark. I believe that. But again, why are we launching so many satellites? For what? And just recently, they just said it. This is the third satellite for Space Force.
Yep, that was just launched.
Just saying, like
a GPS satellite for Space Force.
For a force that we haven't made yet, apparently.
Well. We've talked a little bit about this, and I've, in that last episode. And for me, I honestly believe the announcement of Space Force, as much as everybody laughed and mocked when Donald Trump came out and announced this to everybody just started laughing. I think it was actually one of the first times that they actually were letting information out to try to legitimize what's currently out there. We talked about this during Solar Warden.
Yeah.
And, because one of the best things, when everybody's mocking you, you can just dump stuff out there, information that people would normally have freaked out about. Now they think it's an absolute joke, and you just told them. Yeah, you just told them we're creating a military branch to protect space, and everybody's like, it's such a stupid thing.
No one's complaining when they go and open up their Apple Maps or their Google Maps about it. But on a serious note, I feel like satellites aren't taken care of as much as possible as they should be. And I think the premise of the TV show Space Force now on Netflix.
That was a good show. Very good show.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. When they spoiler alert, I apologize if this is a moment you haven't seen the TV show, whatever the cool kids tell you to do before you say something.
Yeah.
When they send up the satellite and the Chinese are like, snip.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real possibility. Like anything could happen. And think about it. Like, how did you get places that you've never been to before like internet? Like, you're going to break out a fucking map and be like, okay, so we're going to take I-75 south. And we're going to go.
Yep.
What's this road? I don't know what this
you
road
got your all, accordion style fold out thing here. Yeah. No,
it's like, going back to what you're saying was they're not taken care of well. These are replacing ones that are already up there. Where are the old ones going? They're just getting pushed off into space. Like, it's space junk. Don't worry about it. Like, where the hell are they going?
For it to come down as an asteroid later. Oh, this is a satellite that they pushed off to the side 10 years ago. But I mean,
Craig, didn't you say they're sending 42,000 satellites, or was that something else?
Well, we I had it for later. We can get into it right now because one of the things that SpaceX is doing is the Starlink satellite constellation, and currently there are approximately 1,584 satellites is what they hope to have by I want to say
1,500 satellites.
Yeah, they want to
have a ring around the Earth.
Yeah, they want to have that by late 2021. They want to have about 1,500 of there, and that's going to be only the first ring. They want to have 3 rings with a total of 12,000 satellites in them.
So,
this is the part that I was kind of off air. I was kind of teasing you with there, Austin. Is so here's the thing. They say there's 1,584 satellites are going to provide a near global service of broadband internet to areas that can't have it. So if 1,584 are going to provide near global, and it sounds like we might have a little bit of echo. I don't know. Is that only on my end, or could everybody hear it?
It's gone now.
Okay.
It's still there.
That's still there a little bit. We'll live through it. Somebody let us know if it's unbearable.
Yeah.
That near global service. So if you think so, 1,584 does it. So then now you're going to increase that to 12,000.
The problem I had with this, I was thinking about this last night. Okay, he wants to make a ring around the Earth. We don't own Earth. How is every other country okay with U.S. having a satellite around Earth?
Internet.
We're going back to He's like trying to snip. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
No.
I don't think they can control it. That's free land, right? That's free space.
It's not like a sovereign nation. It's not like you have claim to it.
Yeah, so how are you going to launch a ring of satellites around Earth?
But my question is, all these satellites
Watch
in
me,
space,
bro. That's how America.
All these satellites in space, why can't we get free TV or like free internet or something?
Because it costs a lot of money to be launching these satellites, sir.
Well, there's got to be a way to tap into free satellite to get some free internet or something.
Well, that's it. Like you said, they're targeting to have a beta test up and running by August in northern U.S. and Canada because they've already applied for it, and then a broad public access to a beta test by the end of this year in November. But they, so they said they want to predict their long-term goal is to have 42,000 of these satellites in orbit, and they're predicting to bring in revenue of potentially $30 billion.
How is that revenue going to be generated? Like, are people going to be forced to choose these?
if you want to tap into the internet, there it's just like but now instead of you're stuck with these are all copyrighted names, Spectrum, CenturyLink, if you're stuck with AT&T, you have to have one of these things. Well, now you've got SpaceX broadband that you can tap into.
That's true. I mean, if you think about it, when I bought my house, it was like either you had AT&T, which was DirecTV satellite, or you had Spectrum. Like that's it. So it'd be nice to have another player in the field.
And so they're
it needs to be better though. I mean, nowadays
they were going to be like a competitive cost, if not try to be on the bottom of the cost spectrum. And so if that, now you're talking somebody that's out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean can now get internet. Somebody in the Saharan desert can now have internet. You can be out in the middle of the jungle and have the internet.
I mean that'd be like.
Thinking of that, I'm like, man, I just see a bunch of Somali pirates like trying to board ships, and they're like, oh, that's where they're at.
Yep.
Like Keith is like 100 miles off the coast. I'm on a boat. It's just on Facebook, like.
I mean, there's got to be something to that because the internet service sucks on a cruise. I don't know if you've ever tried to get internet on a cruise. It sucks.
I don't know. I went the complete other way when you said the Somali pirates. They're like, we got to take that tanker. They're all in Pornhub. Now they got it.
Yeah. Never seen.
They're like, we're just supposed to take that. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry.
I mean, everything's like streaming nowadays, but growing up, we had satellite. It was terrible when storms came through. I hope they can fix that. That's one of those things that you need to keep in mind. But yeah, exactly. So how you're putting all these satellites up there and they can't control a Dish Network TV? How are they going to control the Wi-Fi when hurricane season comes through? But
I mean, that's I guess that's the risk that you got to take. It's like, if you think about it, what are your real options now if you're in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, really none. So it's like if you want it, if you think about it from like cornering the market, you're a conglomerate. We are the only service provider. Do you want our service?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
you're
let me see if
it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know I think Craig is obviously the better knowledge, but I was doing research. I had no idea. Back in 1999, Elon Musk bought X.com, which then in 99 turned into PayPal. So he's one of the people that founded PayPal. 2002, he created SpaceX, and 2003, X.com became Tesla. He just bought X.com, and then he created it to PayPal. I didn't know he created PayPal.
But he's a genius. He's a brilliant guy because he actually, when he got into the space industry, he wanted to defy the odds and make it cheaper and cut the cost by saving the boosters or whatever. And he's done it. He's landed it on a craft. He's like,
yeah. Well, that one. I don't know, man, because I had I rewatched the one from yesterday, and why is there always an issue when the boosters break off or when they go to land? There's always the camera malfunction. Oh, look, it landed. I'm like,
what?
Wait a
what
second.
do you think, Keith? I mean, there should be.
I mean, we live in Florida, and it's not like we don't have friends in Titusville or in Melbourne.
I know.
Like, oh, look at this! It just landed, and you're like, oh shit, that's pretty awesome. I've heard it's been everything from proprietary, like the hardware and security, et cetera, et cetera. Is it kind of suspect? Yeah, to the average person. But dude, I've seen videos of friends that live on the coast, and they're like, and you could literally see it land.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it could be landing in the ship, and they could be in there, and they recover them later. I mean, but what I'm saying is, you could build a rocket that can make it to space, but you can't build a camera that makes it to space. All the internal parts of the rocket makes up their safe, but you can't build a camera. I mean, hell, I'll stick a GoPro to the side of that bit and see how far the GoPro goes.
GoPro Hero 8 or whatever it is, the black edition.
Yeah. They're like, oh, so we got footage all the way up. Oh, then the GoPro.
Man, I mean, it's not a conspiracy that they're landing on, I'll always love you. Stuff like those drones were pretty cool. He's doing a good job, but I had a little freak out moment yesterday because I pulled over when they launched it. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this launch, and I didn't see it. And I got out of my truck, did a 360. I'm like, where's the rocket? It was a clear day. Didn't see a rocket at all. I'm like, what the hell, man?
He's not telling the truth. He probably was standing on top of his truck. Where the fuck are you?
I was getting angry. I'm looking around like, it's a clear day, and I don't see one stream, nothing. I'm like,
Well, it's because the lizard people know who you are, Austin, and they have an idea, and they're like, well, we can't let him see that. You can't wear the special glasses, and you have to obey.
Listen, I love it. I don't want, if for whatever reason somehow Elon Musk gets a hold of this, I don't want to ever think that I'm bashing him. He's a great guy, but dude, come on, we don't need that many satellites in space.
Well, I mean, it's one of these things of like, how do you provide? So let's just say hypothetically, you put up enough satellites to physically cover like a radius of everyone on the planet. But now it comes to the point where you have usage. How do you then have like a duty cycle, if you will, that's not like 100% or maxed out? Because you got to think more people that are going to hop on it. Like if it turns into a Hulu or turns into what's
Netflix.
any of the other internet cable providers, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Sling, right, or something like that. There now comes a point where it's like, well, if so many people are hopping on it, if you don't have the infrastructure to support it, you're now overloading the system, and then from there it can lead to bad user experience, blah, 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 blah.
Makes sense.
I just am like, damn, that's a lot of satellites, man. Like, it's a lot of shit flying up in the air. Like,
do you think they would ever put? Do you think? I mean, they're undercoverly putting weaponry in the air that they can zap anything like an ant. I mean, that wouldn't be far fetched though. You know, to put weaponry in space. I'd be like, oh,
anything,
what happened?
Anything is 100% possible. I mean, I think if you can't realize that like it's an opportunity to do that, yeah, will we never know the full truth? Yeah. So I mean, if you're not playing the odds, I think that's kind of a foolish thing. I think I've seen people talk about like lead, steel, or whatever, tungsten rods or whatever falling down and letting gravitational force.
Rods from God. Yep.
Yeah. You know, like that's a possibility. So you don't need to have a crazy laser. You don't need to have, I mean, there's so many different things, like you just will never know. I think it's a possibility. I think there'd be some super hippie people out there protesting. I don't know. Everyone protests this these days. You sneeze weird, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll start here. Like SpaceX, so when it originally founded, it came up with a name. So Space Exploration Technologies Corporation was the name of it. This was founded May 6th in 2002 by Elon Musk. With basically, it was his goal when he was looking at it was how to reduce the costs so that way the colonization of Mars was possible. I mean, that was his goal. It's like how to get to Mars and how to make this feasible. Yep. And so the quote, it's a little long, like I said, but it's just one. You want to wake up in the morning and think that the future is going to be great. And that's what being a spacefaring civilization is all about. It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past. And if I can't think of anything more exciting than going out there and being amongst the stars, Elon Musk. So that was his quote. And so 2001, he set out to source rockets. And so he went to Russia and found that these things were just, they just were not going to be cost effective. And so on his way back is when he came up with the concept that would become SpaceX through vertical integration. And he was like, instead of me buying a solid built rocket from you and then shipping it to me to use it, what if I have Chris make a part, Austin makes a part, Keith makes a part, and we're all the same company. And now we build our own rocket. And so now he took what was going to be this massive cost. So now he turned I think if I remember the number right, it was something like 3% of an actual rocket's cost is the raw materials. And so he took it to where what was going to be this massive expense to where he was making a 70% profit margin on each rocket through its use. And then he increased.
70, but he's making 70% profit.
Yep, and then he increased that even more when they came up with the ability to land those rockets and reuse them.
Who's paying?
So now, so now you're I want to say you're increasing the margin on those things up to like 80 or 90% by the reuse. And so it was a brilliant concept. And so he took SpaceX in 2002 had an estimated value of 27 million to where today it's valued currently at approximately 36 billion.
Billion, not million.
Yeah,
it's probably because people started buying and putting down payments on those Tesla Roadsters, and they haven't had to actually physically build them yet. So he's getting like interest-free loans and then just funneling that money. Think about that one. I'm gonna throw
there's a conspiracy for you. That's it. Yeah. Very nicely job.
There he is.
Yeah, so so you think, and then if you include that in with the Starlink coming in, where that potentially you could add $30 billion in revenue, just from internet service. I mean, you're talking this company can start raking in some serious money.
Yeah,
it's
very possible.
I seen a number that he had like 8,000 employees. I mean, that's on the SpaceX side of.
No, it's a little less than. No, I think you're right. I think it is 8,000 employees.
It's 8,000 employees. May 2020, they estimated that he had 8,000 employees, and I mean that's a lot of employees. I mean, I wonder what everybody's job is. I would love to work for Elon.
Well, it's like now you go from just one location to where he now has. They've taken over Launchpad, 39A. Completely streamlined everything. So they have Vandenberg Air Force Base, Kennedy Space Center, Brownsville, Texas. And so those are all locations that they launch from. And so they're launching from California, going to be launching from Texas. And now, and obviously here in Florida, Cape Canaveral, they're launching all the time. And one of the things I was telling the guys when we were coming up with this topic, I'm a total fanboy over Elon Musk and what he's done with SpaceX. Because being a sci-fi nerd, dude, those astronaut suits are freaking cool. You took it from this big, bulky bubble helmet and this big pack to, where the guys were like struggling to walk. Now here comes these two guys looking like they're out of that. I'm trying the movie just failed me. It's like The Day the Earth Stood Still. I mean, it's just kind of like we're just here comes these guys and just you watch them when that Crew Dragon launched. You could see the astronauts. They weren't uncomfortable. They're like, God, this is roomy. Look at all this space. I mean, they could reach out these Tesla-like screens and just touch it. Yeah.
How wild is that, man? To see like where we came from. It's just like, nah, son. Boop. All right, air conditioner on.
Yeah, and we're talking less than 10 years.
That's wild.
The space, even the space shuttle, that was still pretty cramped. You didn't have a lot of room. So now here's this Tesla capsule. And those that can hold, I want to say it's at least 6, if not 8.
Yeah, something like that.
People, and so they can be configured. All they're doing is they just take the seats out. Just bolt in the next set of seats. I mean, it's all modular, and so these guys, I mean, all the room. It was the coolest thing watching them dock with the space station. And see, you can just see they weren't like uncomfortable, like, oh, thank God, get me out of this thing, cramped. They're just like, well, guys, I guess the cruise is over. We got to get into the cramped space station.
Have we seen them in the space station? Because I've been following the news and that
several times.
Oh no. Trust me, I was watching that thing as soon as they're like, oh, here they come. You're just watching them dock, and you see the two astronauts waving through the window. It's pretty Bob and Doug over there.
I think they said recently somebody lost a mirror, so that's now junk space. Some astronaut lost a mirror.
Someone outside shaving? Like, how do you lose a mirror?
Yeah, selfieing.
Man, one thing I know. I mean, I'd be screaming. I'd be like, hey, SpaceX, can you leave me up here until COVID go away, man? I'm chilling right now.
Yeah, they
Chris,
were
like, my Tinder profile shows this, but my LinkedIn shows this.
Yeah, that's what they were worried about too. Was that COVID stuff, and they said that they've been doing good. You know, so
ISS fans only page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you like more, make sure to subscribe.
Yeah. Speaking of that, if you want more, did anybody besides Javier really get that? What your reference was to? Your little post. When you said, "Would you like? Do you want to know more?" I'm like, dude, how many people are going to get Starship Troopers? I mean, and understand what that's in reference to.
No one.
So that was
every
on
now and
point.
then. I watched it the other day just for sentimental shits and giggles. Like how bad I started having like this big debate with people about like how it like mirrors and parallels a lot of like the Nazi like mentality, the outfits, and people were like, "Oh, you got to read the book, man. It's wild." And I'm like, it's just a really bad movie with like Casper Van Dien, but like I was just kind of throwing it out there. But all right, cool. I guess we're going down the rabbit hole.
And you realize just how bad the acting and all the sets and all the stuff really was when you rewatch it later on. I'm just like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Yeah, but I bet you were really excited for when that girl got naked. Like you were waiting for it. We all know that scene comes up.
So I mean, what was the thing with they said? Does anybody remember the thing that they said how much fuel got wasted when they scrubbed the launch? They said some of it got wasted.
They did. It's drained off.
No, they said some of it they lost some reduction in the drain off because something about the oxygen and the fuel didn't.
Yeah, because nothing mixes until it burns. They said there's very little wasted. Something. Yeah, you're always going to have a little bit, that you have, but the majority of it's just pumped right out. They just drain it. Yeah, that's one of the beauties of this. Well, it's like one of the beauties, you're wasting thousands as opposed to millions.
Yeah. That's gotta be the most messed up feeling in the world. I mean, I know I'm impatient. You get up there, you get in your seat, and you're sitting there, and they're starting to count down, and they like, oh, launch has been scrubbed. Shit, now I gotta get out of all this shit again.
Could you imagine, like you're like holding your pee the whole entire time, and then they're like,
no, there's no way.
A couple hours beforehand. It's not like you walk in and then like 5 minutes later you're like,
oh yeah,
all right, guys, we're starting up the rocket. Let's go. Boop.
No, they put you in there like several hours. They might board that bit like. If the launch is at 5 o'clock, I think they might get in about 3:30. I
mean, think of it. Like, you're like on that slingshot ride for 3 hours, just sitting there the whole time. The guy's like, "All right, hey, we're getting close. We're getting close." And you're like getting all nervous, and then just right at the end, oh yeah, guys, we gotta scrub it.
Hey, I just shit myself for no reason. We didn't even take off yet.
Scrub. Weather's bad.
Oh my god. So we'd be remiss not to hit on some of the conspiracies. So one of the ones out there that's funny is according to subreddit, they suggested that Elon Musk got away with the perfect murder.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, the body, that there's an actual body in the suit, and not a mannequin.
When he launched the Tesla.
So when he launched his Roadster, and
who was it?
Okay, once again, it's a Reddit user, so it's not like there's going to be a lot of proof behind these
so
things.
Right now, if we suddenly get bought out or disappear, Elon Musk is the first person you check out.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
This is the thing where they go, basically, they think he got away with the perfect murder by sending a body to Mars because he didn't add any sensors in the spacesuit. That was the reasoning. They're like, you just got your new spacesuit and you just send it into the vacuum of space. Why not put all these things just streaming data so you could see what the suit was going through? So you're missing all this information. So they're like, so obviously, well, there's a reason why you don't want sensors on the suit is because there's a body. That's that's obvious. Can you do?
Imagine.
Oh man!
Oh god! You just hear close up is like this.
Oh shit! I thought he went away. I thought somebody had flew over there. I thought somebody flew over to the Tesla and got him real quick. I'm like, oh shit! I'm next.
Yeah. So then
listen, I'll tell you my PayPal and Venmo, and we'll just call it evens.
Yeah, right.
So they're thinking that somebody was drugged and put into the suit, and and they claim that there's a good chance that somebody that was on a hit list was taken out, and they said adding to the dark irony was the "Don't Panic" sign on the car's dash.
You wake up.
Yeah.
That's far fetched.
I didn't say it was a good conspiracy theory. I just said that these are the ones that.
That's a horrible
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That's
I don't
pandemic.
Dude. I mean, they wrote "Don't panic" on it, so that means when somebody finds the car, they're like, I can't even read because I'm an alien. I don't know what the fuck it says. What does it say to you? I just see a person.
We're gonna meet the aliens the first time.
Could you imagine if
we're
there's
gonna come back and be
on
like,
Mars? It's like, holy shit, what's coming at me? And then all of a sudden, like, oh, guys, we're cool. We're cool.
we're gonna meet the aliens for the first time. They're gonna be holding a body. What the F is this? Who's sending bodies up in space?
That would be messed up if your worst nightmare came to play. It floated across the International Space Station, and they're videotaping live on TV, and you're like, "Ooh, what was that? Oh, there is a person in there." Oh,
I just imagine being the alien, like doing your daily 9 to 5 bullshit accounting jobs, whatever the equivalent is of an alien, and out of nowhere you just see this.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! What is that?
And you're like, hey Chris, did you see that? And you're like, dude, you're fucking high again, man. Like, we're gonna talk to HR.
They're UFOs.
You're smoking moon rocks. You're smoking moon rocks again. Hey, that was a moon rock.
Oh my god. I know. Yeah. It's just. I mean. I think there's not really a whole lot of crazy other ones other than you get the flat earthers that say when you look at the Roadster, you can't see stars. You can't see it. You see this, but once again, out there, everything is going to be so small in comparison. It's going to be almost impossible to catch a satellite or a star because of the brightness of the Earth.
The question of the night. The question of the night for you, Keith, Craig, and Austin. If they told us right now, Elon says, hey, the first capsule that we send halfway to space, the little new thing that they're inventing, would you go? Fuck yeah, I'd go. Let me go halfway to I'm getting halfway in. I'm here. Oh, okay. I'm coming back down to Earth.
It's a death sentence to Mars.
I mean,
I'm trying.
I mean, coming back, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like a really cool opportunity to be a part of that. I mean, could you imagine that as a resume trying to apply? 7 years of experience. Did you also happen to go halfway to Mars or something? No.
Terry said. It's like Ricochet.
I'd probably be the guy that would do that, but then as soon as I get off, I trip and fall and break my neck.
Tara said, how surprised would you be if the alien shot the body back to Earth, Elon? Take this, you
Returned it.
And they sent it right to the FBI crime lab. Like they Googled it from the space. They're like, okay, we'll drop this Roadster back at the FBI crime lab. They're like, oh, there's a body in here.
That's awesome.
And then you guys have been paying attention to what's coming up, that they're working in conjunction, getting ready for. Like I said, this is all leading up to Mars. Like they're planning on getting ready to send up. They want to start sending equipment and stuff to the planet. Get it to Mars and start setting up, because by the time I think it's 2050, his goal is to have over 1,000 chips. In operation.
Chips?
Yeah, actually, I mean, picture that, especially being here in the Florida area. It's like every day. It's like, did you see the launch? You mean which one?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be looking over, then it's just gonna be constant.
Well, isn't that girl, the 18-year-old girl, training? Was it 2030 or 2050? It should be the first.
Yeah, it was. Well, that's where I was telling Chris on that thing. It's just the first couple of missions. It's a death sentence. You're not coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a round trip, I'll start doing push-ups right now. We can.
Right now, it's just basically
air squats.
Well conditioned.
Even Elon has told you, it's like, if you want to do this, he's like, this is the thing, but most likely it is going to be fatal for whoever takes the first trips.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because nobody knows what you're going to encounter once you get to the Kuiper Belt and all this. Nobody knows.
I mean, I'm game. I'll go down in history books. I get a chance to put my family name in history books. Like Mason, your dad, he went up there. His name's in the history book. Like he made history.
I think the first mission, I don't give a damn. I don't want to be the first person on Mars.
the
I want to
first.
bring the Mars rover back home. That mother effer needs to come back home. He lives a good life.
No robot left behind.
Exactly. We left him behind. He needs to come back home.
Yeah, but he's got grand plans. I mean, it's pretty exciting. So basically, in the next 3 years, we are going to see, on the goals, unless something happens, we're going to see another moon landing.
Yeah, I mean, he's just toying with it right now. He's just kind of the space station and shit, man. I don't know.
And I've talked.
Why would you want to go back to the moon?
We could go over this. Keith. You might have a little perspective on this as well. But it's one of those things. It just, throughout history, what is the one thing in any military aspect that you want to have over your enemy? It's the high ground.
Yeah, you want elements prize, high ground. You want the advantageous ground.
So why did we stop going to the moon? We
Money?
could put but that's the thing. It's like I said, we didn't. I've had everybody tell me, well, we didn't have the technology, we didn't have this. I'm like, we were able to put a lander on the moon, so we have the ability to get there.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. So why through all this, as things are progressing, why wasn't there ever an attempt that we know of, to put a base on the moon?
I mean, it's one of these things of trying to figure out what the resources are that would be valuable. I mean, it's if you're trying to, from a military standpoint, trying to secure whatever land or area, right, an area of operations, what is that strategic value of that area? If you're trying to go to the moon, obviously you're on the moon, but it's like, well, are you shooting something?
Yeah, rods from God type thing. So you're out of line, we're going to launch our, rod here from the moon and just.
Yeah.
Launch the rod from the moon.
Yeah.
But it,
A moon rod.
so it's going to be, I won't lie. If we get like a moon colony, oh, dude, I'm so tempted. That'd be so awesome.
No,
To go to the moon?
There's some things in life where it's like, that'd be really cool. I feel like, I don't know, I'd end up being the guy that like did something stupid, like, isn't that the guy that had like really bad Chinese food and got like
what does this red button do?
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That would be one hell of a challenge coin. I've been to the moon. You see this challenge coin? Beat that one, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's fantastic. I would love it. I really would, because this is something in the next couple of years. How cool is this? This is the thing that the parents, our parents saw, the moon landing. And now we're going to potentially have it in the next few years. We're going to go see the moon landing and I put a poll up there on Instagram. Follow us at Three Beards Vault and Three Beards Podcast on Instagram. Shameless plug. We get that on there, and I put a poll. And I was like, "Who's going to get there first?" For me, it's SpaceX. It's just Elon's going to get to Mars first. There's just no.
I didn't do enough research on it. We were sending up astronauts through Russia, I think, or no, India, no, Russia. Were they still using shuttles or rockets?
Rockets. They were doing kind of like this. Well, they're ahead of that until you actually see it, and you're like, you're one of those things like we were firing our astronauts up on that. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you gotta do what you do.
It's like the plane from Major League, the little prop plane. You're like,
yeah, you're seeing this stuff, and you're looking at the facilities. They're all just. You're like, wow. Then you see SpaceX. You're like, oh my God, this looks amazing. I'm like, yeah, it was hard to believe that we were doing this for almost a decade. Well, that's part of we could have an episode. We need to probably have that moon conspiracies because there's all the ones like the hollow moon, because when it landed, it rung the moon. You could see the shock wave. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy conspiracies about the moon.
I saw like that meme too, where it was like, "What are you guys doing back here early? The moon's haunted." What? Moon's haunted. We gotta go. And they grab guns. It's like, nobody knows, man. I mean, there's no camera on the moon right now. What the fuck is actually going on? So,
well, for anybody that says like conspiracy, like we've never been to the moon, one of those things. I mean, how is there stuff that we can see with a telescope? If we never made it there, I'm like, you can see the track.
Conspiracy. Telescope makers are in it together, and they put a little thing on it so when you look through it.
oh my god, a conspiracy and a conspiracy.
That's a good one. It's the old comic book ads where you get the 3D glasses and they're the little feathers on there, so you're like, you can see your hand.
You used to wear them all the time, Craig.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's what these are right now. They're just the newer model. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Clark.
That's going to make it a little awkward when your roomie over there comes walking by. Exactly. Oh, God. Well, Keith, sir, you need to plug your Instagram page.
Let me get it.
That's
There
not
it is.
following us.
So Charlie Chopham to my boy here.
Yeah.
Make him follow it up for the new adventures and things that he sees in life. Obviously, Cassiano Concepts for the woodworking. Any questions, concerns, hit me up there. But mainly Charlie Chopham because, man, that's just some good feels. Like, that just, oh, man, dude. Caroline walked in when we ordered pho, and I was like, babe, look what I did. And she's just like, oh, Jesus Christ. She was, like, crying, everyone. I really appreciate you guys always having me on. You're always so always so easy to talk with, and just good old people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart every time for having me on. I really appreciate it, gents.
Oh, we enjoy it.
I wasted too much time building a really bad intro to put any of your photos up.
No worries. Just put up a bunch of, like, America and, like, his dad. My buddy called me 4-finger death punch the other day, and I was like, "That crafty son of a bitch."
Dude, you got the perfect pinky to poke somebody in the eye now. It's flat.
Oh, dude, Jesus, dude, it's like straight flat too. Like it's.
You can literally.
Well, that's why I couldn't resist when it was your birthday. The other day, and I said, happy birthday to the 99.9% that's left of you.
Everybody that's listening, we've said it before. He obviously got on a concept woodworking. He puts his blood, sweat, literal sweat,
literally blood and sweat.
Literally.
I'm dedicated. I'm not afraid of commitment.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I mean, he gives it his all for his craft. That is for sure.
Right, you gotta care. You gotta care, man. That's it. Love it. That's why I drove from Tampa. And as soon as I parked my truck, I told my buddy, I was like, "Hey, I gotta hop on a podcast. I'll be out in a little bit." I care about you guys. I care about what you do.
Get out there and you might want to give him a heads up that you're wearing extra glasses. But
yeah, we're probably gonna take some things. I love you guys. Thank you for having me on.
All right, man. Have a good night.
So I can fix this. Yeah, we're good. We're fine.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it's SpaceX. Pretty cool thing. Like I said, there's not really a whole lot of conspiracies.
It's just
launched around them, other than just why, if you can do it with 1,500 satellites, do you need 42,000?
I'm telling you, man. Again,
if you can get good service with 1,500, imagine the service. The quality of the internet you're going to get with 42,000 of those bad boys floating around.
It was more the conspiracy of supplies for Space Force too, because I didn't know. I obviously knew we had Houston as a base, but I didn't know they were launching out of California too. So God knows how many rockets he has sent up from Houston and California. Now I'm really curious to look that up. What are you sending up?
A lot of he's done a lot of, there's a lot of military contracts. So we're not going to know. You're going to get a lot of satellites. We could we could touch on one of the shows we did before. You can go back and watch one of our previous episodes on Solar Warden. There's even talk that some of these military satellite liftoffs, are in fact resupplies.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's
you're actually shuttling supplies up to the ships. It's because there's there are so many different. It's kind of not knowing breeds conspiracy. I mean, you see it, you want to know what it is. Nobody wants to talk about it, so your mind wanders. You think, you find all these little crazy things like, oh my God, look, this bolt was missing over here. Well, that clearly means that, you know, and they go,
It's
you
too
go
much.
crazy. And it's something as simple as, you know, it was a GPS satellite. You know, but there, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. You know, we're sending up supplies for something that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, and
more
God
of
knows how long it's been there. You know?
more of a cryptid than a conspiracy for the Pukwudgie. Those are
Yeah,
crafty little creatures that we will be talking about next week. Those are some awesome little ones. We'll like that when we talk about the Pukwudgie from New England. That's pretty much all I've got on SpaceX, other than just, you know, for all fans that are listening, you know, I apologize that you don't get the luxury of just stepping out your front door and watching SpaceX launch off a rocket, but, you know, I'm not going to brag.
apparently I can't either. When I step out of my truck to look for it, it's not fucking there. So I don't know. That was weird.
You got to look to the east, sir.
I did. I searched. I 360 that motherfucker 3 times and I didn't see a damn. I don't know where it went. And I didn't even see a trail afterwards. I'm like, all right, come on now. What the hell?
It was kind of cloudy, so I mean, a few people in the neighborhood didn't even see it either.
I appreciate you telling me to look to the east when I was born and raised here, sir. Freaking Oregon, motherfucker.
You're not from Florida.
You're getting all salty at the end of this episode, man. Well, we just got an X rating on this episode. Thank you very much. All right.
X rating.
Yeah. So everybody, please go to patreon.com/3beards podcast and support us. We are looking for that first support. You know, that's going to be pretty big for us when we do that. We're going to love that.
Yep.
Go to youtube.com and 3beards podcast is our channel. Subscribe that. Get your friends to subscribe. Just if anybody likes these kind of topics in MMA, we have that as well as these regular topics. Just have them go on there, click subscribe. And you know, I don't care about, you know, do all the notifications. Just click subscribe. Will do wonders for us. And go to broadsbeardcare.com, proud sponsor of 3beards podcast. We have our own signature blend now. It is fantastic smelling. I'm looking forward to getting a bottle of it myself.
Yes.
Go to Kelly makes these. We work together. He came up with this one. So go to broadsbeardcare.com, use promo code 3beards with a capital B, and you're going to get 20% off your entire order. And that's pretty big. And he always has free shipping on all of his products. Go to Nanny Cakes 407 on Facebook, 407-923-2898. Take that, Austin. Yeah, mention us, and you're going to get 15% off your cake order, which in the Central Florida area, if you're needing a wedding cake, birthday cake, just whatever cake, because Choppy the Chop Hand, you know, it just, you know, Charlie Chop Hand there we go, Choppy. Yeah. You want to celebrate Choppy's birthday, you know, you got to get a cake for that. So
Love it.
there we go. So like us on Instagram, follow us there. Instagram, we got 3beards Vault. That's our crazy conspiracy, just a weird topic post. And then we have our 3beards podcast, which is, I think it's 3_beards_podcast on Instagram. Follow both of those. And then we're on Twitter as well, 3beards podcast. We're trying to get out there. Everybody, thanks again for watching. We appreciate it. For our fan in France, like I said, please drop us a line. We said we would like to know how you found out about us. So if you get this, just, you know, 3beardspodcast@gmail.com. Just send us an email. Just let us know. We're really curious how you found us. So, well, everybody, have a great night. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on Sunday and then Wednesday when we talk about the Pukwudgie.
Happy 4th.